Welcome back to my live Q&A. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been away on vacation and it's been wonderful. And at the same time, it's really nice to be back here. Nice to be back in this space, talking about what I am passionate about. Healing and transforming fatigue, all kinds of fatigue, chronic fatigue, burnout, post-COVID, long COVID, and any other form of fatigue, the kind of fatigue that just grabs your life and puts it on pause. And today's question is, let me see exactly what the question was. It's around parent guilt. How do I deal with parent guilt? I feel like I messed up my kid. Ooh, this is a big one. I've talked about parent guilt before, but the focus was a little bit different. It was around how to handle the guilt of not being enough for your child. And there's a tangent today that I'm going to talk about. But if you want to listen more, you can go ahead and check that one out. So the focus today is what do we do when we heal ourselves and we change so much and we start seeing that, oh my God, I've behaved in the past towards my child in a way that doesn't feel good. I wish I could have done different. I feel bad. What if I harmed my child? What if I gave them trauma? This is a question that I have asked myself, and I know many other women especially ask themselves, and men as well, probably. And I'm going to give you an example of something that I did when my daughter was around, I think she was 8 or 9. And we were going to go to the dentist, and we were on our way there. And all of a sudden, she's like, I'm not going. I am not going to the dentist. And I was in this situation where I was like, we have to go to the dentist. So I forced her to go. And I feel really bad about that today. Today I would have done something different. I would have sat with her. I would have asked her what's going on. You know, what's happening? What is it you're so afraid of? Or had a conversation around that. And probably felt that what her experience is more important than showing up on time at the dentist. But back then, the most important thing for me was showing up at the dentist on time, because I was still in this space that where I believed that what I achieved was somehow proof to my worth. That if I achieved these things, if I got my daughter there to the dentist on time, that meant that I was a good parent. Today I see things differently. But so what happens, especially when we do inner child work, when we start taking care of our inner child and healing our inner child, giving our inner child what she didn't receive growing up. And then we realize, oh my God, I haven't given this to my child. So if this is an experience that you're having, the first thing I want to say is be compassionate with yourself. This takes a lot of compassion, a lot of self-love. And I know self-love is a whole topic and it's on its own. And maybe I'll talk about that someday. Because we all do the best we can, right? It's not like we get up in the morning and think, I'm going to be a shitty parent today. We don't. We do the best that we can with the tools that we have. And those tools change, and we change with time. So a huge dose of compassion is key when you're experiencing guilt. And also, it's okay to feel guilty. It's human to feel guilty. If you feel guilty, it means that you care. It means that you love your child, that you want the best for them. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel guilty, right? So give yourself a high five for feeling guilty, for being an amazing parent because you care. And that might be hard sometimes when you're feeling guilty and you feel like you're a shit parent, right? So I'm just gonna check my notes because I actually did some notes around this because there's so much that I could say on this topic because it's something that I'm passionate about, because it's something that has evolved a lot through my own personal healing, and that I also see in my own clients that especially, of course, the ones that have children, as they change, the relationship with their children changes. And depending on how old your child or children are, you can talk to them about this, right? If they're young, not so much, but if they're older, you can talk to them about what's going on. Tell them that you're doing healing work and that you're changing and that you see things different. And you can even apologize to them. Say, I did this back then and I'm sorry. I wish I could have done different. Apologizing goes a long way. I mean, there is so much power in apologizing, saying you're sorry. And on that note, you can say sorry to yourself. I'm sorry I did that. There's a lot of power in that. And also, if you're experiencing this, if you're experiencing that, oh, I wish I could have done different, that means that you have changed. That means that you have created change, that you have done something different, that you have broken with behavior that is not serving anyone. And in the long run, that's huge. In the long run, that is helpful to everyone. That is a gain. That is a gift to everyone. Because what you're probably doing is you're breaking with generational trauma. And I think I've talked a little bit about generational trauma beforehand. And what I mean by that is our ancestors have experienced trauma. What kind of trauma, of course, is different from family to family, but I can say without a doubt that every single family has trauma somewhere along the line. And this is passed down. And these are unconscious behaviors. It's passed down in our DNA. And when we do healing work, we're saying, this stops with me. We heal the trauma and we create something different, something that is more loving, more compassionate. And this is big. This is really, really, really big work. And this really gets me very emotional. Because when I tap into this and I feel into this, it's the kind of work that changes the world. So it's not a small thing when you notice that you're feeling guilty because you did something you didn't want to. When you notice that you've changed, you're doing enormous work. It's huge. Let's see, what else did I write here? Right, another aspect of this, and this is something that became evident for me. I'm sorry, that's my son leaving and slamming the door. I don't know, maybe you didn't hear that, but I did. Anyway, so this was something that became apparent to me when I was on vacation, actually. My daughter is 20, and I noticed myself being in this situation of feeling guilty that, oh my God, I wish I had helped her be more of this. And I wasn't able to. And what I realized that I was doing was that I was actually unconsciously telling her that she was not okay, that her behavior was not acceptable, that a part of her is not accepted by me. Ooh, and that really hurt. That was like, ooh, shit. I'm on some level showing my daughter that I don't accept her. And we all do that. We all do that. We all judge. We all judge our children, thinking that they should do differently, they should be different. It's human. But in that, I realized that, okay, I have to find acceptance here. I have to find that part, or I want to find that part in myself that can accept two things, that I can accept both the part of me that feels judgmental, that feels that I've done something wrong, and also the part of me that judges my daughter. And also acceptance in that she does that. She behaves in that way. She says those things. And it's okay. It's okay. Hold on a second. Olle, jag är live just nu.
Det händer något.
Ja, men jag kan inte komma nu.
Det är viktigt, seriöst.
Ta det sen.
Skitont! Seriöst.
Okay, so let's see what else. Right, and the other part that I realized on vacation was that I noticed that I had changed so much that I was starting to set different boundaries. And this created discomfort for everyone. And I became impatient with it because I was so happy that I was actually setting these boundaries that were helpful to me and that felt really good to me. But I realized also that I needed to give everyone else time to adjust to these new boundaries. So again, coming back to being compassionate with yourself. Being compassionate because you're human. You change. We all make mistakes. It's part of being human. And I think I need to stop here because I need to go check on my son because I think he hurt himself. Okay, loves. I will see you next week. And I was planning on doing a heart meditation, connecting with your heart to tap into compassion and how to be compassionate with yourself. Maybe we'll do that next week. Sending you lots of love. And thank you for being here. Thank you for listening.